Welcome to my channel, The Puzzled Atheist. The title of this video is Kenneth Copeland, Calling All Congregants. I found a reaction video today about Kenneth Copeland. The YouTuber who created it was a Calvinist named Justin Peters, whom I'll talk about in a future video. A quick note, this is a bit premature since this is a brand new channel and I've got a total of 8 subscribers so far, but I'd really like to talk with congregants of Kenneth Copeland, specifically the poor or once poor among you. How were you able to make the prosperity gospel work for you, or did it? In addition, how is your faith healing? Did it work or not? Back to the video. If you haven't heard of Kenneth Copeland, he is, at age 87, probably the wealthiest pastor in the United States with a net worth of more than $300 million. For full details on him, read his Wikipedia bio. Copeland is a televangelist associated with the charismatic movement. Charismatic preachers claim that the apostolic gifts talked about in the Bible, such as prophecy and faith healing, continue to this day. There are a lot of charismatic preachers out there, a lot of whom are quite wealthy. I will quote from Wikipedia to explain why. Copeland preaches prosperity theology and is part of the Word of Faith movement, which teaches that divine favor expressed in material and financial blessing, and that giving to ministries, in particular the ministry of the person doing the preaching, unlocks this favor. Justin Peters shared a couple of clips from Copeland's How to Walk by Faith and Not by Sight talk at the recent 2024 Southwest Believers Conference. At this conference, people who were sick could participate in a healing school where, according to the blurb, His, that is to say God's, consistency has inspired us to expect nothing less than sicknesses to leave, including cancer to be removed and bones to be restored, all under the authority of one name, Jesus. In Peter's clip, Copeland is talking about his love of Breitling watches. These are luxury watches, with the least expensive one going for about $5,000. He has 37 of them, and he doesn't buy them, people give them to him. After Copeland shows off a diamond-studded Breitling watch, he talks about his friend Mylon Lefevre. In Peter's video, this starts at the 15-minute mark. Mylon Lefevre used to be a rock musician until he became a Christian, and he toured the world doing Christian music that made him a very wealthy man. He was good friends with Copeland and appeared on Copeland's show on occasion. Then he got cancer when he was in his late 70s. I tried to research what kind of cancer he had, but was unable to find out. Anyway, in order to be healed by a faith healer, you have to sow a seed for a harvest of healing. And the seed Lefevre sowed was to give his good friend and multimillionaire a car, a Bentley, which cost $229,100 before taxes, and inside it was a Breitling Mulliner tourbillon clock, which cost an additional $234,360. In other words, the clock inside the car was more expensive than the car. Copeland is telling the story, and Lefevre's widow is sitting in the front row of his audience, and the look of utter delight on Copeland's face as he remembers the news when Lefevre tells him he's being given this car was frankly sickening, the more so because, again, Lefevre's widow was sitting right there when Copeland said, "Thank you, Jesus." Because, obviously, this sowing the seed for a harvest of healing for a cost of almost $500,000 did no good, and Lefevre died from cancer at the age of 78 on September 8, 2023. To close this video, I would suggest that to sow a seed of healing, Mr. Lefevre, or anyone for that matter, would have done better to have sold that $500,000 Bentley to Copeland, who could easily afford it, and donate the money involved to research into the cancer that he was suffering from. Perhaps he did donate money to such research. As I said, I've been unable to find out anything about what kind of cancer he had, or anything about a will he might have left, but if he did make such a donation, it would have done his seed sowing a lot more good if he'd given an extra $500,000 to cancer researchers instead of to a man who already owns a Cadillac Escalade, which cost a mere $100,000, a Mercedes Maybach, which cost about $200,000, and a Rolls-Royce Phantom, which cost about $500,000, not to mention his private jet and a few other aircraft. And remember, Kenneth Copeland is the guy who, during COVID, told people, in essence, that he didn't care if they were dirt poor and had only 2 nickels to rub together. One of those nickels had to be tithed to his ministry. I'll talk more about tithing in a future video. So, if you are or were a congregant of Kenneth Copeland and you actually see and listen to this video, please share your story in the comments section or contact me directly. Were you well off before you joined his ministry? Did God do anything to make you wealthy? Or did your wealth increase because you found a lot of people seated in the pews next to you with whom you could network and develop partnerships and make money the old-fashioned way, by earning it? And if you were poor, are you now middle class or rich? And how did you accomplish that? That concludes this video. Thank you for listening.